Artificial intelligence ought to improve a manager's lot. Administrative tasks and grunt work take up almost a full working day of a middle manager's week. Anything that cuts down on the drudgery of fielding holiday requests and writing up meeting minutes is welcome. Tools that make it easier to match employees to internal job opportunities or help plug skills gaps ought to help firms and workers. But as ever with AI, it's as easy to imagine things going awry. Perhaps one day the job of a manager will become more about supervising AI agents. For now, however, people matter. And if the technology is seen only as a way to cut managers or encourages humans to indulge their worst instincts, the workplace will suffer. Turning bad bosses into good ones will need more fundamental problems to be addressed. First, the risk of over-aggressive cost-cutting. Layers of bureaucracy can accrete even in the most successful companies. Many companies trying to get rid of middle managers who want to put their fingerprint on everything. Microsoft is targeting managerial bloat too. Al smooths the path to such layoffs, many of which are warranted. But good middle managers are the unsung heroes of many organizations. They bring down quit rates among frontline employees. They are closer to the customer than C-suite types. They act like ribosomes, translating the plans of the higher-ups into something real. The risks of full-blown automation have already become apparent. Klarna, a fintech company, now says that lower costs weighed too heavily in its rush towards AI, customer service assistance. The same danger applies to bosses. You can have too many. You can also have too few. The second risk is that Al encourages people to behave in perverse ways. Machines could substitute for human attention rather than enabling more of it. Research shows that more one-on-one time with a manager helps reduce employee turnover. But if an Al can feed bosses the latest employee sentiment scores, they may spend less time actually talking to workers. If your manager starts emailing you back faster than usual, but the message ends with a cut and paste, "Would you like me to write this in a chattier style?" will you feel more motivated? Moreover, as more things are measured, they invariably turn into targets. An AI that measures how often individuals pipe up in meetings may prompt bosses to encourage quieter sorts to give their views. Maybe. It may also incentivize even more people to ramble on when they have nothing of value to say. The third risk of AI is that it distracts from tackling deeper problems. The best way to raise the quality of bosses is to make sure that people want to do the job in the first place and are given the resources to perform well. In Britain, 4 out of 5 new managers receive no formal training. Far too many bosses still take on the responsibility of direct reports because they are good at other things. Better sales performance increases the likelihood of American salespeople being promoted, for example, but is also associated with worse performance among their new underlings. Al does have huge potential to improve management, but as the latest season of Boss Class, our subscriber-only podcast on how to be a good manager, makes clear, the job of leaders is to blend efficiency and humanity. Innovation depends on planning and creativity. Lego gives its designers room to let imaginations roam, but within the constraints of launch calendars and supply chains. Culture is the secret sauce of many organizations. A Toyota plant is not just a car factory, but also a belief system. Lime's boss credits both prioritization and a sense of mission with getting the e-bike firm through the pandemic. Management can be learned, but it cannot all be codified.